You ever hear of a movie get dragged so hard, it loops around and becomes a dare? That's what this Snow White was to me, a cinematic triple dog dare. Go ahead, you morbidly curious idiot, fire it up and find out. And let me tell you, after watching the opening, there is no such thing as review bombing for Snow White. All it takes is 3 scenes to know just how bad Snow White can get. And before the movie starts, strikes 1, 2, and 3 are already on the poster. Rachel Zegler's PR team must be working overtime because every interview feels like she's auditioning for the role of most obnoxious person on the planet. And guess what? She's nailing the part.
The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Zegler makes a strong case that you indeed cannot separate the art from the artist. She is the Roman Polanski of modern actresses, and she hasn't even fled the country yet. Between calling the beloved original Snow White's themes outdated and weird,
there's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
and being one of the most smug and condescending personalities to ever emerge, despite having only box office failures under her belt. It's hard to look at her and not think she's uncommitted to the role she's in and hate her audience. It's also hard to look at her. Seeing her makes you wonder if an alien invasion is in full swing, because it looks like she's wearing a skin suit of the first human being she's ever came in contact with. Gal Gadot's acting is like a badly programmed robot trying to mimic human emotion. Strapping a costume on a piece of plywood hasn't fooled anyone yet.
Kal-El, no! Kal-El, no! Kal-El, no!
Very happy she bought her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame though. That is impressive. She's got the charisma of a soggy cardboard box, and if she wasn't any more stiff, they need to check her for rigor mortis between takes. With that said, it's not clear just how much jankum Disney huffed when pitting Zegler's looks against Gadot's, but it had to have been a metric fuck ton. And lastly, this is another live-action remake attempt by Disney, as if the last 418 they've tried to put out weren't commercial and critical bombs. You can judge books by their cover, or movies by their posters, and this right here is less of a promotion and more of the world's greatest stop sign. But listen, the real ones know that traffic laws are merely suggestions for the weak-minded, so we're doing 180 through this school zone. And right off the bat, we spot something wrong. Snow White opens up on the Disney logo. That slow orchestral ejaculation of "remember when we had Souls" plays. This logo used to mean something. Magic, wonder, childhood, hidden sexual images if you pause the laserdisc at the right moment. Now, it's corporate foreplay for 2 hours of IP necrophilia. It's the cinematic equivalent of your ex texting you up at 3 a.m., only instead of bad decisions and regret, you get brand synergy and ESG compliance. Snow White itself actually opens up to these woodland critters, warning you that the CGI is going to look as shitty as possible. At least they established this right off the bat, that the visual effects is going to be totally worthless. But the real problem comes in the form of the narration. And holy shit, it's not soothing or whimsical. It's like listening to a mom read a fairy tale after her 4th glass of wine and a Xanax.
Once upon a time, there was a peaceful kingdom ruled by a virtuous queen and king.
And the narrator sort of sounds like Gal Gadot, which really doesn't make sense because why is the evil queen narrating Snow White's story? So you look it up and it's actually Dopey narrating, which automatically makes 3 questions pop up all at once. 1. Why is Dopey, the notoriously silent dwarf, narrating? 2. Why does this man not just vaguely sound like a woman, which is bad enough to begin with, but he sounds like the very woman who is the villain? And 3. Why am I giving this much of a shit?
What is going on up here? I never know, man.
You pray to God to take your sense of hearing away, but that's just when the devil says, "Eat shit and listen to this now," and the world's most boring, forgettable musical number starts.
Stop that, stop that! You're not going into a song while I'm here.
Seriously, aside from the fact that most musicals suck ass to begin with, you're actively forgetting the lyrics as they leave the singer's mouth. They evaporate on contact with your eardrums like dollar store dry ice. If you ask your phone what song is playing right now, it will just shrug back at you during this number. Next scene is the intro where Snow White catches a boy relatively her age stealing food from the castle, which, if you're hearing this for the first time, sounds like a juicy plot point. Our young hero sees a glimpse of the kingdom's harsh realities, right? He tells her the evil queen is hoarding food and the people are starving, and you're just sitting there going, damn dude, you look healthy as fuck. You're definitely not washing that hair with Head and Shoulders. That's some Pert Plus 2-in-1 going on. How hungry are you really? But the lack of charm here between these two is staggering. This is where you could give Snow White a moment of brilliance and a flash of empathy. Like, hey dude, you might look like a model on the Dare Leak campaign who's dehydrating yourself on purpose for that lean Jesus on a cross look, but why don't you go ahead and pinch off a loaf because I give a shit. But no, instead she jumps to a conclusion so dumb, it makes you wonder if she's homeschooled by a magic 8-ball. The queen is being stingy on food? Maybe the greedy queen will be happy to share if Snow White just asks. It's thinking like this that makes a strong case that women need to stay off Pinterest. Snow White has this whole I read an empty platitude on a meme once and I think I can apply it here vibe. There's zero tension, zero conflict, just this bizarre rose-colored optimism. Whatever the equivalent of pre-nut delusion is to a girl, this one's got it. Now here's where our two acting titans finally share a scene. Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. Zegler with the acting range of about 2 feet versus Gadot, whose acting is a two-state solution and it's just not working out. The Queen Gadot is sitting alone at a medieval meets Victoria's Secret banquet table, so here comes Snow Zegler with a dream and a middle school understanding of socioeconomics. And I mean this both for the character and the actress. She marches into the Queen's personal Game of Thrones cheesecake factory and pretends it's not happening. Her eyes don't even flinch at the mountain of untouched protein before her. She's got an agenda, baby. She's here to deliver a monologue on the power of sharing. And how does she do it? With the emotional weight of a second grade book report. She starts reminiscing about the time she picked apples with her parents and made pies. It's soft, it's wistful. It's the kind of tale usually told by someone holding a pumpkin spice with both hands and wearing a cardigan. The scene practically begs for a slow motion flashback and a damn ukulele. And this is where Snow White the movie does the impossible. You're actually thankful Gadot is there to shut this shit down.
We'd pick apples. We'd take them and make pies, then go out into the village.
Pies are luxury.
Especially cream pies. And sure, it sounds like she's reading cue cards written in a language she doesn't understand. There's no weight, no venom, just Botox apathy and a vocal fry that sounds like she's auditioning for a fragrance commercial, or maybe even narrating this movie. But at least, for once, someone shut Zegler the fuck up. And just when you thought Gal Gadot gave the performance of her lifetime by wiggling her fingers, they ruined it all by giving her more lines.
Hard, unyielding, everlasting, flawless, beautiful.
Yeah, beauty fades, diamonds, blah, blah. We checked out a long time ago, and we need a brain defibrillator now. Let's take a step back for a second and look at the first 10 minutes of Snow White as a whole. And when I say look at, I mean try not to fall asleep during, because holy shit, this thing has the emotional depth of a tax form. Reminder, the first 3 scenes are supposed to be your hook, your opening salvo, your grab them by the imagination pussy and don't let go moments. Instead, we get a plastic narration that sounds like it was recorded under a weighted blanket by a twink who plays a character that shouldn't be talking, CGI animals that have the charisma of a mall kiosk screensaver, a song so generically inspiring it could be played in the background of a tampon commercial, a villain introduction with all the menace of a DMV clerk, and a protagonist who's got a mountain of evidence smacking her right in the face, and she's like, maybe it's a big misunderstanding. There's no tension, no urgency, no style. Just a tepid stew of focus group nonsense dripping down your screen like narrative diarrhea at the burrito festival. Nothing works in this movie. Not the CGI that's completely devoid of artistry, not the acting because everybody from Zegler to Gadot seems like they're half asleep on their 5th Ambien. Not the music because even the orchestra sounds bored. I swear at one point I heard a violinist sigh. Not the stakes, unless you consider rich girl slowly realizes the queen is kind of mean to be a compelling dramatic arc. And when I mean slowly, I mean Simple Jack probably could pick up on this faster.
You make me happy.
Watching Snow White is like watching someone try to tell a bedtime story while actively being injected with heroin. No way is this holding the attention of kids, let alone adults. The kids are pissed at you for even putting it on, and the parents are pissed at Disney for not coming through with a single damn moments of peace. There's no hook, no spark. It's ice cold water passed off as soup. It's served on a recycled princess plate dug out of a Disney theme park trash can. It's tone deaf, empty, and flavorless. This isn't just forgettable. This is blasphemy to your eyes and ears. This is the kind of movie where 10 minutes in, you voluntarily go to Total Recall to get your memory wiped. Do yourself a favor, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more of my award-winning personality to fix your day. Not that I care about it or anything, but I got you. I'm out of here.